Hello class, I am Ms. Rosenberger, and today we are going to be learning about the community property of addition and how to inversely add numbers, as well as how to work a join and compare problem. So, in our vocabulary, the words that we will be focusing on are the community property of addition, join and compare problems, and the word inverse. Okay, so the word inverse is going to mean just the opposite. So if I say that we are going to inversely add that version of the equation, what we will do, for example, I have 3 plus 1 equals 4. And this goes right along with the community property of addition. Community property of addition states that you are able to add the addends in any order to get your sum. It doesn't matter if you're adding. Okay, so with the inverse as well, 3 plus 1 equals 4, right? We all know that. But what if I put 1 plus 3 equals 4? Just like this. Does it still equal 4? 1 plus 3 equals 4. It does, right? So this equation down here would be considered the inverse of the equation above. Okay? And that is what the community property of addition is, that you are able to add the addends, which are 3 and 1, in different orders. Now the sum still has to stay behind the equal sign, but you are able to put the 3 or the 1, which are the addends, in whatever order that you please. Okay? This also plays into what we learned last week regarding fractions. Okay? So for a fraction, we have one piece or one number, and we have another number, and they go together to make the overall whole number, right? So I also said that we're going to be working on join and compare problems. A join and compare problem is where we have two numbers or two or more numbers, but our problem today only has two, and we take item or number 1, item or number 2, and we join them together and we compare them, right? We compare them to look at the overall whole. Okay, so the problem that we're going to be working on first, that is a join and compare problem, is the following. Blake has 28 coins that consist of nickels and pennies. 12 of the coins are nickels. How many more coins does she have than nickels? So, what my key words are, before I even begin to think about the equation, I like to circle the key words. So, I've already done that for us so we can discuss it. So, in our first sentence, that's what we're going to pay attention to first, right here. Blake has 28 coins that consist of nickels and pennies. So, what are we talking about? Whenever I read that sentence, what do you think that we are talking about? What was your key words? 28 coins. We're talking about 28 coins. And what are they? They're pennies and nickels. So I went ahead and I circled 28 coins and nickels and pennies, or I underlined, so it was a little bit differentiate. Now, Blake has that and consist. Those are a little bit jumbled words. They just kind of throw you off a bit, right? They're bigger words you're not used to. So we kind of underline the words that we know that we're talking about. So let's move on to our next one. So our next sentence, we have 12 of the coins are nickels. So what are our key words? What are we talking about? 12. So we would circle 12 because obviously that's our number that we're working with. Of the coins are nickels. What? 12 are what? Nickels. So you would underline that, right? That's another key word. Okay? So, and the next one we say, how many more coins does she have than nickels? So, what are our keywords in that? Now, don't get confused on this one. It's a little tricky. Okay, so how, this is our sentence where they're asking the actual answer to the question. So, if you want to, I didn't have it circled, but go ahead and just box that so you know exactly where the question's coming from. Okay, how many more, so what does more mean? More means that we're adding, right? So we can go ahead and underline that too if you just think that that may help. More, we're talking about coins. Does she have than nickels? So we're comparing what to nickels? What were our two aspects in the beginning? Pennies and nickels. Okay? We started off though, and we had 28 as our overall coins, right? It said that we had 12 nickels, right? There's our nickels. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to count out those 12 nickels. And I brought some nickels with us. Okay, so our nickels are the ones that look like they're silver. They're a little bit bigger than the pennies. And my pennies are my brown looking ones, kind of coppery, and they're a little bit smaller. Okay, so we're going to count out 12 of the silver ones. So count with me. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there's my 12 right there. Okay, so if my overall number of coins was 28, how do I get my 12 to 28? We add, right? So they said that only 12 of my 28 coins were nickels, right? So I've already counted my 12 out, my 12 nickels out of the 28, and they said only 12 were. So what else could be the rest of the number? What were we comparing before? What were our two words that we underlined? Pennies and nickels, right? So we'll count out the rest in pennies. So we have 12 here, right? So we'll start out 13. We're counting on, right? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Hooray, we are missing 2. Just a second. $27 and 28, right? So there's our full 28 coins, right? So we have our pennies right here, and we have our nickels over here. We know that this is 12 because they told us it was 12. So right here, we can look back and see, we can count to find out how many pennies are in the whole 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, how simple was that? We're just basic counting. Now, if we look at it in terms of an equation, we would write 28, and we're trying to find we're trying to find the number of pennies with only the number or the amount of nickels given to us. So we would subtract 12 because he told us that there was 12 nickels. She told us, sorry. So you would write 28 minus 12 equals what? So if you do it your basic way where you subtract your one or your tens place first, or I mean your ones place first, we would go 2 minus 8 equals what? 6, right? And I would write my 6 right here. Okay, and in your tens place, we would go 1 minus 2 is what? Which gives us, again, our 16. Right? Super easy, guys. So just remember that the community property of addition is that you are able to add numbers, add your add-ins in different orders to get your sum. Your sum still has to stay behind your equal sign, but you can change those add-ins up. Your inverse is the opposite of the equation that you were trying to add together. And a join and compare problem is where you have two items or two numbers or more that you are trying to join and you are comparing them for the overall whole. I hope that you learned something today and I hope that you enjoyed this. Have a great day, guys.